What if I told you that one of the most significant signals from the universe, coming straight from the direction of Jupiter, was once detected by scientists and completely ignored by mainstream media? This isn't some internet rumor or a fringe theory on Reddit. It was real. A strong, clean, and mysterious signal. Detected, recorded, and then archived. Now think, why did no one want to talk about it?
The answer is simple and deeply disturbing. Because if this signal is what many believe it to be, it changes everything. It shakes our foundations. It challenges the carefully repeated narrative that we're alone. But the most terrifying part isn't the signal itself. It's the silence, the cover-up, the fact that what could have been our first real contact with aliens was quietly swept under the rug. This video isn't just another speculation piece. We're going to show you the facts, the data, the records that were conveniently pushed aside, and the implications of it all. So take a deep breath, because by the end of this video, you might never look at the sky the same way again. And the question that will echo in your mind will be, what else have they kept from us? In 1977, something strange happened. It didn't make headlines or feature on primetime specials. A signal strong, clear, and unexplainable was picked up coming from the direction of Jupiter. No one could say exactly what it was, but one thing was clear: it wasn't ordinary. Some scientists tried labeling it as noise. Others opted for silence. And here's where the mystery deepens. Why such convenient silence? Think about it. When an anomaly like this occurs, the first reaction should be thorough investigation. But that's not what happened. Instead, much of the data was archived under vague labels. Now imagine, what if this was a contact attempt? A hello from aliens watching our chaos from afar. NASA even made a statement, but without much enthusiasm, almost like someone inside knew more than they let on. To this day, the signal raises more questions than answers. Its frequency, its structure, its origin, everything hinted at intelligent design. And honestly, what natural force sends such a precise pattern from Jupiter's orbit? It made even the most skeptical scientists raise an eyebrow. Some believe it was the first true nod from alien nigens, but was it only the beginning? As soon as the signal was captured, the first to analyze it were astrophysicists from Ohio University. They were baffled by its strength and consistent frequency. It wasn't like regular radio signals lost in the atmosphere. It was steady, clean, almost intentional. The computers back then could barely process it, but one thing was certain: it had a unique signature. To decipher the mystery, they compared it to pulsars, meteors, natural distortions, even man-made interference. Nothing matched. Some scientists dared suggest it could be a transmission from alien nigenas, quietly, of course, to avoid ridicule. In the scientific community, anything involving aliens is career suicide. Better to play it safe, right? The strangest part? The signal never repeated. If it were an astronomical event, it would have. But this was a one-time thing, like a message sent and never followed up. It led many to believe that perhaps these aliens were just testing our reaction, a ping to see who was listening. But did anyone answer? As whispers of the signal spread through scientific circles, the world waited for NASA or another agency to address it. But silence. No detailed reports, no press conferences, no deep investigations. And when they did speak, it was wrapped in jargon meant to confuse more than clarify, as if they were saying, "Nothing to see here," while their eyes told a different story. This behavior wasn't new. When it comes to alien jinnahs or possible contact, the usual protocol is downplay, archive, forget. Remember the Pentagon's release of unidentified aerial phenomena documents? The official response was, "We're looking into it." Translation, "We know, but we're not ready to tell." The Jupiter signal followed that same pattern. Some insiders tried to dig deeper, only to be stopped. Independent astronomers reported difficulties accessing raw data. Information disappeared from public databases. And let's be honest, when that much effort is made to hide something, it probably isn't irrelevant. Maybe, just maybe, those aliens said more than they were supposed to. After the initial shock, many teams aimed their telescopes back toward Jupiter. They paused everything, scanned the same coordinates, and got nothing. Not a peep. Not even static. Like calling back a number only to find it disconnected. The one-time nature of the signal only deepened the mystery, sparking theories about alien nigenas probing our planet. Even today, some scientists conduct regular sweeps of that region, hoping for another anomaly. It's like hunting for a needle in a cosmic haystack. But what if that one signal was all we were meant to get? A quiet test. Like knocking on someone's door, then stepping back to see what they do. Maybe those aliens were just gauging our readiness. What's ironic is that with all our advanced tech, we've never recreated that moment. Despite all progress, that one ping remains unmatched. It teaches us something. The most powerful messages aren't repeated, they're whispered once. Maybe the next one won't come from Jupiter. Maybe it's already out there. Out of all the theories, one began to gain traction. What if the signal wasn't random, but intentional? A test? An experiment by alien genus to see how we'd react? Think about it, a single, clean signal from Jupiter, sent once and never again. No follow-up, no second try. Like someone saying, "We're here," and waiting to see if we notice. If it was a test, the subtlety makes sense. Nothing flashy, just enough to catch the eye of the observant. It's like a polite knock before entering. If no one responds, maybe it's not time. Maybe the aliens were measuring our maturity, our readiness for a conversation. And based on our silence, they got their answer. This theory, once mocked, is now being considered by serious researchers. Because if we were the ones reaching out to a less developed species, wouldn't we do the same? Send a single message, observe, analyze, makes perfect sense. And if that's what happened, what did they decide about us? With the big agencies staying quiet, it was the independent scientists who stepped up. Driven by curiosity, not red tape, they dove into the data. They formed online forums, ran comparative studies, and shared findings freely. The more they looked into the Jupiter signal, the more evidence pointed away from natural origins. To many, it seemed like the clear signature of alien agencies initiating contact, freed from institutional pressure. These researchers uncovered similar patterns in signals from other parts of the sky, subtle variations, but with striking mathematical symmetry, like hidden codes. Some even used AI to look for deeper structures, and what they found was startling. Layers of order where chaos was expected, clues that felt more deliberate than random. While the mainstream ignored it, these cosmic detectives kept digging. They published papers, made documentaries, and tried to alert the public. But their work was largely dismissed or outright buried. And that's the weird part. Why suppress something so exciting? Maybe the truth wasn't that no one cared. Maybe it was that some cared too much and didn't want you to know. Things got weirder when astronomers started linking the 1977 signal to other strange phenomena near Jupiter. We're talking unexplained flashes, odd gravitational shifts, and bizarre changes in radiation belts. Events no one could explain, and all suspiciously timed. When you put them together, the picture starts to shift. Suddenly, it's not just a blip, it's a pattern. And at the center of it, alien genus. Take the 2010 Jupiter impact, for example, a massive event caught on telescope without any trace of what hit it. Some claimed it was space ice, others just shrugged. But those same independent scientists, they saw something more. A test maybe, a deployment, or a cleanup operation. Either way, it didn't feel natural. These aren't just conspiracy theories, they're data-based conclusions drawn from hard science. Overlay the events on a celestial map, and patterns emerge, repeating coordinates, similar timings, too specific to dismiss. It's like someone's leaving breadcrumbs, and we've only just begun to follow the trail. The biggest enemy of truth? Ego. When it comes to aliens, even the smartest minds shut down. In science, admitting you believe in alien agencies is a quick way to ruin your credibility. So most stay quiet, even when the evidence is compelling. Better to be safe than laughed off the stage. That's the unspoken rule. This creates a kind of intellectual censorship. Researchers who raise the alien possibility get sidelined. Funding dries up, journals refuse to publish. It's not about truth, it's about reputation. Some scientists have literally had careers destroyed for daring to say, this might not be natural. But that tide is slowly turning. A new generation of thinkers is challenging the old guard. They're publishing open source data, speaking out on YouTube, and refusing to back down. And many of them are pointing right back to that signal from Jupiter. Maybe the change won't come from the top, maybe it'll come from those brave enough to ask the right questions. You didn't see this on CNN. You didn't read it in major newspapers. And that's exactly the problem. The Jupiter signal wasn't just ignored, it was actively avoided. Why? Because if it's real, it breaks everything we think we know. And that's dangerous for governments, for scientists, for the public narrative. Some journalists tried. Stories were pitched, segments were written, and then gone. Canceled. Scrubbed. Multiple insiders have reported strange disappearances of content related to the signal. YouTube videos removed. Blog posts vanished. Search engines burying results. Coincidence? Doubtful. Alternative outlets have picked up the slack, but even they face suppression. Try searching certain terms and see how few useful results you get. This isn't random. It's coordinated. Because once people start asking real questions, the whole house of cards begins to shake. Maybe the scariest part isn't the signal itself. It's what they're doing to keep you from seeing it. Then came the wildest theory of all. What if the signal was a message? Not just a wave, but communication. Several researchers ran the data through code-breaking algorithms. They found repeating intervals, symmetry, and structure. It looked crafted, like music with a purpose, like math designed to say something. And who would design that? Alien edgeness. What's more, the signal used universally recognizable patterns, primes, Fibonacci sequences, golden ratios, things any advanced species would understand. It was like a key, a locked door left slightly ajar. Some believe it was an invitation, or a warning, or something we still don't have the tools to comprehend. Even today, people are decoding, translating frequencies into sound, into images, into geometry. Some say parts of the signal align with ancient symbols found in Mesopotamia. Others say it produces shapes eerily similar to crop circles. The truth? We don't know yet, but it sure doesn't look random. And if this was step one, what's step two? What if that single blip wasn't the end, but the start of something, a beginning, a countdown? Alien Igenas wouldn't rush contact. They'd observe, measure, watch us fight over borders and money and tech, then decide if we're ready. That signal from Jupiter? It might have been the test. The knock at the door, the cosmic hello. And maybe we failed. Maybe we ignored it, laughed it off, filed it under noise. Or maybe we passed. Maybe they're watching how we dig now, how we react to stories like this. Every decision we make could be part of their evaluation. What if we're being graded, not by GPA, but by curiosity, compassion, and consciousness? So here's the final question. What if we miss the next signal? What if it's already come, and we didn't even notice? Will they send another, or will they move on? Maybe we get one shot, one whisper from the dark, and maybe, just maybe, this was it. Now tell me, do you still think that signal was just static? After everything we've explored, the data, the silence, the patterns, the suppression, can you honestly say it means nothing? Or do you feel that tug in your gut, that maybe, just maybe, something bigger is at play? And more importantly, what will you do with this knowledge? Ignore it? Forget it? Or start paying attention? Start questioning. Start seeking. Because the truth isn't just out there. It's waiting for those brave enough to notice, to listen, to act. If this video stirred something in you, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We're only getting started, because if aliens really are watching, don't you want to be the one who noticed first?